So decision making and problem solving are two absolutely critical skills that I think are way overlooked and neglected. And this is another one that, we can talk about this in a personal, professional sense or otherwise. But these are two things that I think about quite a bit and really try to concentrate on. I've always looked at myself as somebody who's not very innately good at anything. I don't have a lot of talents, but I'm pretty good at figuring shit out, and I'm very committed to always trying to follow outcome-based solutions, or in other words, with whatever the situation is right now, with whatever it is that I have and whatever it is that I'm doing, how do I connect where I am now to where I'm trying to go or where I want to be? With problem solving, this is something that, obviously starts with separating what we can versus what we can't control, identifying what our resources are, who our allies are, how we can utilize these things to help accelerate or improve our situation. But I think an overlooked thing with decision making is a lot of this is also rooted in your experience or your exposure. This is where, I encourage, especially, the younger generations, kids in their 20s, teens, whatever, you want to expose yourself to a lot of different people, a lot of different things. You want to watch different, movies, TV shows. You want to listen to different types of music, because the more that you experience or the more that you're exposed to, the broader your reference evaluation becomes. And the more that you can kind of pick and pull from in terms of having a reference for current situations, typically the better off you are with being able to make a decision. The other thing with decision making is that it becomes exponential, in that the more we do something, the more it aggregates, and this can go in two different directions. This is where I look to resonance versus dissonance. And shout out to Tim Kelly on this, because, this is something him and I have talked about for years. But, we want to look at life as being either a virtuous or a vicious cycle, or in other words, having resonance versus having dissonance. Most people spend the vast majority of their time in a state of dissonance. They are somewhere and they're thinking about something else. They're doing something, but they want something else. And really, not only does this create internal turmoil, but it also kind of compromises your ability to be effective with decision making or with problem solving. My dad said something to me a number of years back that always stuck with me and has been very profound for me, and that is that life is going to inherently present you a shit ton of problems. So your job as an adult is to minimize the amount of strife or minimize the amount of conflict that you have in your own world, because the outside world is absolutely going to dump them on you. So this is where these two kind of start to interrelate. The better that we can make decisions, the less likely we are to have problems present. And then thereafter, the better we are with decision making, the more inclined we are to be able to solve the problems at hand. And this is another little mantra that I've lived by, but we are very easily trapped in emotion, especially when conflict or problems arise. And my mindset has always been, fuck the problem, find the solution. You want to stay very outcome driven. You want to focus again on being, really emphasizing the objective side of things, rather than just feeling, overwhelmed with how you're being treated or how you got yourself into this situation. Fuck all of that. What can I do with what I have right now? Where am I trying to go? And how do I connect these dots from where I am to where I want to be?